Now, my friends, learning point number 3, based upon the science of the sacred and what I took from this reading. Trauma is stored in the gut. Trauma is not defined by what happened. Trauma is defined by what the body had to carry without support. The gut is the body's early warning system. When overwhelmed, the gut responds. Digestion tightens, absorption changes, microbial balance shifts. This is not weakness, it's survival intelligence. This feels like nausea during stress, tight stomach before conflict, heaviness after emotional interactions. It sounds like shallow breathing, stomach clenching, or I'm fine while bracing internally. This is what stress does to the ecosystem. When threat is perceived, digestion slows, absorption changes, and the immune system shifts into defense. For example, you eat while rushing, worrying, or scrolling. Your body reads the moment as unsafe, so your gut tightens even if the food is healthy. In Ayurveda inspired living, we know that Ayurveda calls digestion Agni, which is fire or inner fire, that digests food, emotions, and experiences. Stress weakens this digestive fire, weakening the ecosystem. Rhythm, on the other hand, strengthens digestion more than restriction. Science is now confirming what indigenous medicine systems has always known. The microbiome responds to safety, rhythm, emotion, and environment, not just to food. Your gut listens to your nervous system tone, your stress hormones, your sleep quality, your emotional load, and your sense of safety or threat. This chapter sits at the intersection of gut health, trauma-informed healing, nervous system regulation, immune resilience, ancestral and indigenous wisdom. Now, as always, our learning point. In energy medicine, we honor adaptation as wisdom. In Ayurveda, we reframe imbalance, not identity. And in herbal wisdom, we provide supports and repair without shame. Now, let's talk about a point of truth. Your body is always choosing life, even when it hurts. Inflammation is protection. Fatigue is a boundary. Cravings are communication. Healing is not becoming someone else. Healing is returning to your relationship. Learning point number 1 that is taken from chapter 7 in the Science of the Sacred. Your body is not a machine. It's an ecosystem. Modern medicine trained us to think in parts. Digestion system over here, immune system over there, nervous system somewhere else. But ecosystems do not function in isolation. In nature, soil affects roots. Roots affect trees. Trees affect air. Air affects rain. Rain affects microbes. Nothing functions alone. Your body works the same way. So let's name the reality that all of us are living in. For decades, life advice was built on the assumption of stability. Careers progressed predictably, health followed clearer paths, systems were reliable, long-term planning made sense. Now, today, the contrast. We are living with economic uncertainty, caregiving overload, healthcare complexity, global stress, and constant change. The brain is wired for predictability. Uncertainty forces constant adaptation. Learning point number 3, my friends. Wellness without awareness becomes control. Wellness without spirituality often turns into performance. Science says hypercontrol increases stress hormones and perfectionism leads to burnout. In ancient medicinal systems, wellness is defined as balance, rhythm, and responsiveness. In real life, this looks like tracking everything: food, steps, sleep, productivity, but feeling tense, rigid, or anxious underneath it all. It looks like pushing through workouts when the body is asking for rest. It looks like doing wellness right, but resenting the very routines meant to support. Here is why it happens. Number 1, you stop leaking energy. Self-abandonment leaks energy. People-pleasing leaks energy. Over-explaining leaks energy. Living differently plugs those leaks. For example, you stop saying yes to one draining obligation. That same week, you sleep a little better, your patience is stronger, and you're not snapping at the people you love. That's becoming better, not through effort, but through alignment. Number 2, your decisions get clearer. When you stop making choices from guilt or fear, your choices become, why am I still tired? We've been taught that healing means override the body, but there's a different truth. Your body isn't resisting your future. Your body is protecting your history. Let me get right into our learning points tonight. Learning point number 1, the body remembers survival, not intentions. From a neuroscience perspective, the nervous system is built for survival, not Hello, I'm Dr. Debbie, and this is Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. We offer gentle, evidence-informed, soul-rooted practices for adults, children, and families, supporting whole person healing, health, and wellness with a special focus on nervous system regulation, emotional wellness, identity and self-connection, healing in everyday life, and balance that actually works in the real world. Our work is guided by the power of 3: energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, and herbal wisdom. We strive to help heal the whole person, a truly comprehensive, integrated approach. This work continue in a sustainable and accessible way. We have created Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio on Patreon. Patreon allows this work to exist without overwhelm, without high financial barriers, and without asking people to do more than they are able. There is a space for you here at whatever level feels right. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Debbie with Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. I want to welcome you to tonight's live stream. We have a great topic tonight, a really important topic. But before we get into all of that, let's do our breath work where we clear and our heart connection. I'm going to show you that tonight if you haven't seen it on other live streams or other examples of my free content. So this is a way for us to get rid of all the stuff from today. Breathe in through the nose. Push it away with the hand and breath. All those emails, all those conversations, all that stress. Breathe in through the nose and blow it out. Push it away with the hand, and then put your hand on your heart and say with your inner voice, or say out loud, I connect with my heart. The heart is the seat of God. It's the place of unconditional love, empathy, all the higher frequencies. And it is so important for us to be connected with our Creator, the one God of all that is. It's important for us to be connected with each other, with others, and the universe as a whole. So now that we've finished our little mini practice there, let's get into our topic tonight. And let me just, I want to clarify something because this came up and I was asked about this. I do use notes. I try not to over depend upon them. However, it doesn't always work that way. I'm working on it, but I do use notes. So when you see me look down or look to the side, I keep moving their location, trying to, make it a little bit better so I lessen my dependence. But it's a tool that I need to use. It keeps me focused. It keeps me on point, and keeps my thoughts clear. So I have a lot going on in my world. It's fast and furious much of the time. But I just wanted you to know that so that when I look in different directions or different ways, you know that I am using my notes. So now let's get into this. I'll get prepared here. Again, I want to welcome every single one of you. I am so happy and blessed to have you here. Tonight, we are having a different kind of conversation, not a loud one, not a trendy one, but a true one. Because many of you have come carrying questions like, why do I feel like this? What's wrong with me? Why can't I cope like everyone else? And somewhere along the way, many of you were given an answer that sounded clinical, but felt heavy. A label, a diagnosis, a category. Now, hear me clearly. I want to state unequivocally, labels can be helpful. They can open doors to resources and support. They can give a language to suffering. That is all true. But tonight, we are talking about what happens when labels replace understanding, because we are living in a time where every discomfort is pathologized, every adaptation is medicalized, and every response to pressure is treated as a personal defect. And I want to ask a dangerous but a necessary question. What if your brain isn't broken? Because we're talking about the brain tonight. What if it's simply tired of surviving conditions it was never meant to endure non-stop? Here is a core truth. Your brain is not malfunctioning. It is responding intelligently to prolonged stress, instability, and sensory overload. The brain was not designed for endless scrolling, constant alerts, endless decisions, economic insecurity, social comparison 24/7, and global crisis delivered directly to us right in the palm of our hands, daily, 24/7 a day. And my list could go on and on and on because that is the modern experience for us. Yet we expect it to function flawlessly, and we expect not only ourselves to function flawlessly, we expect our children to function flawlessly. So when people struggle, instead of asking, what has this person been adapting to? We ask, what disorder do they have? That question, my friends, changes everything. What has this person been adapting to is what we should be asking, but we ask, what disorder do they have? So we're looking for a problem within them. Now, as always, let's get right into our learning points. Learning point number 1, the brain is a survival organ, not a moral barometer. Let's be very clear. The brain's primary function is not happiness, it is survival. It evolved to detect threat, anticipate danger, and remember pain. It evolved to avoid uncertainty. In ancient times, threat was physical danger, environmental instability, and loss of the tribe. In modern life, the threat is financial stress, social judgment, burnout, unpredictability, and emotional isolation. The brain does not distinguish between a tiger, an eviction notice, or chronic emotional neglect. Let's talk about some real-life examples of this. Overthinking is the brain rehearsing safety. Hypervigilance is learned survival. And emotional numbing is energy conservation. These are not character flaws, my friends. They are adaptive strategies. Through the power of 3 lens, energy medicine identifies this as overactive mental field. In Ayurveda-inspired living, for example, the dosha or body type Vata in excess is movement without grounding. In herbal wisdom, depleted nervous system reserves. Our nervous system is just completely empty and depleted due to what we face 24/7. Here's a reflection question for you. Let's think about this. Where is your brain working overtime just to keep you safe? Learning point number 2. Why the everything is a disorder narrative took over. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why is everything suddenly a disorder? This is why. Because systems prefer individual explanations over systemic responsibility. If anxiety is a disorder, society doesn't have to slow down. Workplaces don't have to change. Families don't have to heal, and policies don't need to protect. If burnout is a diagnosis, the pace stays the same. Productivity remains sacred, and exhaustion becomes personal failure. The narrative quietly says the problem is you, not the conditions you are living under. And that, my friends, is deeply, deeply harmful. What are some real life consequences of this? People internalize shame. Children believe they are too much. Teens think they are broken. Caregivers collapse silently, and elders feel disposable. Think about this question for a moment. Where have you been blaming yourself for conditions you didn't create? I believe I've asked that question and had us think about that question on almost every live stream in the past week or two. And that's intentional. This is a very important question for you to really, really dig deep and think about. Learning point number 3, symptoms are messages, not malfunctions. In whole body healing traditions, symptoms are not enemies. They are communications. Let's reframe a few. Anxiety, I don't feel safe with uncertainty. Depression, I shut down to survive prolonged overwhelm. Brain fog, I need less input and more integration. Emotional reactivity, my nervous system is overloaded. When we immediately label and suppress symptoms, we miss the message. And then people say, I'm doing everything right. Why am I not better? We are not better because listening was replaced with managing. In the power of 3, energy wants movement, not suppression. In Ayurveda inspired living, rhythm wants restoration, not forcing. And in herbal medicine, plants remind us healing takes time. Think about this question, my friends. What might your symptoms be trying to tell you? Not shame you. Now, learning point number 4. Why rest alone doesn't heal the brain. We tell people all the time, rest more, take a break, practice self-care. But the truth is, rest without safety does not repair the nervous system, hence not the brain. When people rest while endless scrolling, bracing for the next demand, worrying about money, anticipating criticism, and feeling guilty for stopping, that is not rest. That is paused exhaustion. This is why people sleep but wake up tired. Vacations don't restore. Weekends feel rushed. The nervous system needs predictability, emotional safety, permission, and rhythm, not pressure disguised as wellness. Think about this question, my friends. When was the last time your body truly felt unthreatened? Now, learning point number 5, the cost of overlabeling the human experience. When every struggle becomes a diagnosis, people stop trusting their bodies. Intuition is replaced by fear, and healing becomes compliance. Labels, my friends, should be doorways, not identities. But many people begin to say, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, I am disordered, instead of I am responding to something. And that subtle shift steals hope. Here's a truth. A regulated person in a dysregulated world will struggle. Let me say that again. A regulated person in a dysregulated world will struggle. That does not mean they are broken. It means they are human. So what does this mean in real life in our day-to-day? It means you don't need to be fixed. You need to be understood. You don't need another label. You need conditions that support regulation. It means healing is not about becoming normal. It's about becoming resourced. It means your brain isn't failing you. It's asking for a partnership. So now, my friends, as always, our 5 reflection questions at the end of every live stream. These are so important for your healing. Find a quiet space at least once a week, just for 5 minutes, and think deeply about these questions. Number one, what has my brain been adapting to for a long time? Two, where do I feel unsafe, rushed, or unsupported in my daily life? Three, what label have I internalized that might actually be a survival intelligence? Number four, what would change if I stopped seeing myself as broken? And number five, what kind of support would my nervous system actually need? Now, as always, I invite everybody, if you have found benefit from any of my live stream content or any of my free content, and you are in search of support and resources and a community that is on this mission to offer and support people in healing, I invite you to Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio on Patreon. This is a way for you not only to engage in your own healing and be supported and go beyond all of my free content, it's a way for you also to support the healing of others. All Patreon proceeds go back into Patreon so that I can offer free servicing or extremely discounted servicing for those who cannot financially afford full packages. In Tier 1, you can become a community supporter for just $1 a month. This is for those who say, I don't really need anything right now, but I want to be involved. I want to support others. In Tier 2, the Founders Healing Circle, this is where we go deeper together. We start talking about regulation and integration. And we do deeper practices, longer practices. We do healings, and we do real healing education. This is a place for those who want support, resources, and a community that heals together. Now, my friends, once again, I appreciate you being here. And if I didn't say, for the Founders Healing Circle, it is only $7.99, $7.99 a month. Check it out. There's something there for everybody, and we go way beyond any of my free teachings and healings and practices. Now, we're going to close tonight. Always remember, healing does not mean erasing struggle. It means honoring the wisdom inside it. Your brain is not broken. You are not broken. The brain and your body has been working hard for you. Always, always remember, healing lives here. Wholeness lives within you. I love you all. Stay safe. And until tomorrow, take care.